We're here at the Dragonback Trail. We're going to do the Dragonback-Golden Eagle Trail loop. We're parked in a little pull-off right across from the Tomb Flats parking area along the Pine Creek Rail Trail. So we're heading out. Here's the sign. It's called Quarry Mountain Trail, 2 Dragons Back, 1 mile, Golden Eagle Trail, 2.8 miles. This parking area is about 1 mile south of the Slate Run Bridge, Village of Slate Run, and Wolf's General Store. Goes very steeply uphill right at the beginning. The camera doesn't really show that, but trust me, your legs will tell you. There's a lot of switchbacks in this section, which is good because it eases the straight up nature of the trail, and there's also little areas where it's flatter where you can take a break to get your breath back. So heading on up on the first switchback here. Again, very steep, so take your time. Hopefully this gives you an idea of how steep it is with my wife up there above me. We're about halfway up now to the Bob Weber overlook. We'll give you another video when we get all the way up. Just figure I'd give you halfway while I'm taking a little break here. All of the mountains up here in the PA Wilds are generally composed of this slate layer material. Therefore, they had slate mines all throughout these mountains back in the day. It's just one example. Finally made it to the Bob Weber Vista, about 1.3 miles and 6 switchbacks later. Perfect day, 65 degrees, light breeze. Right here we're overlooking the Slate Run Bridge and the Village of Slate Run, and see down there with the red building is Wolf's General Store, where you can get snacks and supplies. Over here to the left is the Slate Run hollow that goes up to the top of Hemlock Mountain and the Black Forest Trail. Thanks to Jeremy78 for the info on this trail from watching his videos. Shout out to him. And yes, I am still alive, not too sweaty, no worse for the wear so far, but we got a ways to go to complete this loop. We've been following the ridge since the Bob Weber Vista, hiking along through this beautiful pine forest. Someday, maybe this region will be pine forest again, like it was at the end of the 1800s before they logged it out. Oh, I didn't have it going. The Dragonback Trail comes out of the woods after that ridge walk onto this grassy lane, which takes us over to the Bonnell Run Vista. See you over there. Here we have the junction of the Hillborn Run Trail. If you take that down, it'll take you down to the Pine Creek Rail Trail in 2 miles, as the sign says. You can do a loop with that, crossing the bridge on the rail trail and then up the other side, which isn't marked and very steep, and then walk this grassy road back to here to make about an 8-mile loop. On the other side here we have the Golden Eagle Trail junction, which is blazed orange. The Dragonback Trail was blazed yellow, and this will take you, becomes the Golden Eagle Trail, and will take you down Bonnell Run back to the rail trail. If we continue ahead, we'll get to the Bonnell Run Vista and continue on the Golden Eagle Trail. At 3.14 miles from the start, you arrive at the magnificent Bonnell Run Vista, which is one of 4 major vistas on this loop hike. You can hear I'm a little out of breath because we just came up a pretty good hill on the grassy road to get here from the junction with the Dragonback Trail. Let me zoom you in. The video doesn't do it justice of what you actually see with your eyes, so if you're able, get on up here if you can. When leaving the Bonnell Run Vista, you continue up the grassy road, but you get here where there's a double orange blaze. You'll turn to the right and continue this way, but you don't want to go to the left. That takes you over to the Twin Mountain Vista and the other side of the loop of the Hillborn Run Trail. So again, just go to the right here. At 3.37 miles from the start, we've arrived at the magnificent Beulah Land Vista, which is at an elevation 2180, overlooking the Beulah Land Valley where there's some farming, and looks out towards Oregon Hill. And on a clear day, a really clear day, you can see the windmills, which are on the ridge above US 15, and maybe close to 30 miles away. So a long distance view up here. Beautiful spot. Great lunch spot, the Beulah Land Vista. Finished up our lunch. If you want coffee and LMT drink mix, then you're going to have to invite Old Dude Hiker along. Check out his YouTube channel also. We're going to head up this grassy road for a ways yet, not real far, to the height of land that crosses between the Bonnell Run and the Wolf Run areas, and then we'll start to descend down into the Wolf Run. Give you an update when we get there. Here the Golden Eagle Trail turns off of the grassy road and starts to descend down into Wolf Run, as you see on the sign. So make sure you don't miss this turnoff. You really can't, because the grassy road kind of dead ends here. See you later. We are hiking the loop clockwise, but should you start and go counterclockwise in the other direction, this would be your turn to take you over to the Dragonback Trail, the Hillborn Trail, or to continue on the Golden Eagle Trail. There's a minor vista here as we're coming down into Wolf Run. Starting to head down steeply from here. Update you when we get to Wolf Run. See this tree here, where likely a bear was hard at work ripping off the barks to get the bugs that were underneath. Definitely bear country in this canyon here in Wolf Run wild area. Made it to the headwaters of the Wolf Run, where it comes right out of the mountain back here under this log and starts to flow down towards the Pine Creek. Trail maintainers did some work in here to clear the trail for us. Many thanks to them. Beautiful hemlock forest here along Wolf Run. Some pines mixed in, and some of the ancient ones have come down in recent windstorms. See the orange blazes for the Golden Eagle Trail. Continuing on. Part of an old wood stove, presumably from the logging camp days around the early 1900s. 5 miles into our day on our loop hike of the Dragonback Trail and Golden Eagle Trail. About halfway between the source of the Wolf Run and Pine Creek, continuing on. In about another mile, we'll turn sharply uphill towards the Ravenshorn Vista. As we came down the mountain along Wolf Run, it opens up into a wider valley, nice and green, and out of the hemlock forest. You can see the surrounding mountains high above us. As you continue down Wolf Run, it continues to get wider, and the trail crosses the stream many times, at least a dozen or more. At low water, these crossings are very easy, but at high water, it would be very difficult, or the trail might be underwater altogether. At this juncture where the double blaze is, you turn and go uphill towards Raven Rocks, up to there, over the other side of the mountain, and then back to the start. If you continue straight ahead, that'll take you down to the Bob Weber Trail link and also down to the parking area at Ross Run. Up we go. The aforementioned junction is at 6.85 miles from the start. Little spring coming right out of the mountain. Cool beans. Climbing along this ridge up to the Raven's Horn. All these neat slate chimney formations. Continuing on up. Walking out to the Raven's Horn. Finally got up here. Steep climb, but take some short breaks at the switchbacks and it's doable. Because we're here, so it's doable. That's it out there, but I'm not going all the way out there, but amazing view up here. Well, what we just walked out onto was the false Raven's Horn. The actual one is another level up, so we'll show you that one when we get there. This is the Raven's Horn from below, the final approach. You see my wife up there, getting up there now. Video from the top of Raven's Horn. Perfect day, perfect clouds. Looking across Wolf Run to the Bob Weber Trail on the other side, panning down into the Pine Creek Valley. Back across and then looking down into Wolf Run. Around 8 miles, you reach the top and you turn and start heading down towards the Pine Creek. Back to the Bonnell Run Trail link of the Golden Eagle Trail. This is looking up Bonnell Run, and we're going to be heading this way to the left, down Bonnell Run, back to the rail trail, and then up the rail trail back to where we parked. Made it out to the access to the Golden Eagle Trail. If you go from here, when you get to the junction in 0.4 miles, you can go right to go counterclockwise around a loop, or left to go clockwise around a loop. We're going to go over here. That's where we came from. We'll take a look at the Bonnell Run. There's the sign for the Wolf Run Wild Area. Incidentally, in the PA State Forest, you are not allowed to camp in any area that's designated as a wild area. And here we have a look at the Bonnell Run just before it empties into the Pine Creek. We came across the road to the Pine Creek Rail Trail at the Clark Farm Utzitter Station parking lot. Here's the sign for Bonnell Run. And here's a sign for the parking area. We're going to walk about another mile north on the Pine Creek Rail Trail to get back to Tomb Flats area where we parked. Back the same day. Hallelujah. Right around 11 miles for the day. No worse for the wear, I don't think.